Netflix's The Sussex Gamble reveals Meghan's original reasons for juggling herself and her non-existent child in Germany. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Princess Diana News YouTube channel. Okay, guys, let's take a deep breath and put this all into perspective. Netflix, Spotify and others hope to make big bucks from Harry and Meghan. They always have an agenda, and you know what? They went crazy. Serves them right. Shame on their lawyers. They should know better, but I don't really feel sorry for these corporations. They were waiting. I'm telling you, Netflix's reputation must be in the toilet by now. They spread so many lies about this toxic couple and refused to check the facts even once. They just wanted money, they wanted sensation. So it's important to ask how many other Netflix documentaries are also based on lies. How can we trust everything Netflix is putting out now? Netflix was also an idiot for getting so excited about delicious royal family gossip. They were probably too naive to realize that Harry and Meghan were a real feud. I mean, typical Hollywood greed. They haven't figured it all out yet. Meghan and Harry have always been liars. They started with the lie-filled Oprah Winfrey interview and they haven't stopped since. If Netflix wanted to, they could do their homework and do a real test. For example, they can talk to Tom Ball. The way they just destroyed both families should have given them a warning of what was about to happen. Netflix, however, proved to be extremely stupid. You may have made money from it, but is it worth it? Everyone needs to wake up and realize that Netflix really is as big a problem as Meghan and Harry. Because they were more than happy to participate in Meghan's photo shoot in Uvalde. I mean, how rude, how disrespectful, how shameful. They attended the daring event via hidden cameras, where Meghan Markle wore that ugly red dress like she did at the Oscars. Even a veteran joined Harry, it can be seen in the video. And what about Heart of Invictus? Well, they tried to take the wind out of the veteran's sails and make it a Meghan and Harry show. Netflix bosses are so stupid for signing such a huge contract with these two. Netflix needs to wake up and look at how it is involved in exploiting situations and others for its own benefit. But they probably already know this and they don't care. I'd like to know more about the financials of these games. Chapter: Who really benefits from this situation? Where does the money go? Meghan, Harry, Netflix, administrative costs, security, or veterans? I mean, how much is a private jet? I think everything is wrong with this toxic couple that I don't even care if they are together. Overall, I'm glad these greedy companies realize they're being reported, and rightly so. I mean, when Harry and Meghan came to California, they were so excited. They are ready to make some extra money. But no one seems to have done any research, because it won't be long before they find out that the Queen kicked Meghan out of the country and Harry missed his best chance at a divorce. I thought this should be enough to raise some very tough questions, but they failed to do so. Why? Because Meghan and Harry promised them royal filth. Then Harry just plays along because she makes him believe that he is damaged goods and that his family betrayed him. Netflix seems slow to raise the issue of where these invisible children are hiding. I do wonder when they realized that maybe they'd made a mistake because they got the royal prince, who was the dumb one with a pretty scandalous history of drug addiction and violence towards women and animals, trashing nightclubs. When is Netflix gonna wake up and see they are beating a dead horse at this point? I mean, the comments alone for anything that is featuring Meghan should be more than enough for them to cut their losses and run. But as always, I rest assured that the biggest loser in all this mess is gonna be Meghan. I don't think she could ever come back from any of this. And when the truth about those invisible children comes out, boy, she's never gonna live that one down. Harry, well, he's gonna run home with his tail tucked between his legs, and he's gonna be hidden away, protected by an incredibly powerful institution. But karma is coming from Meghan, and it's not gonna be pretty. Meghan was embarrassed and harassed by the media for giving a misleading speech about family values at the 2023 Invincibles Games. But more than that, she was trying to steal the limelight from Harry's event, and as photos from the event clearly show, he wasn't happy about it. You can see his hand on the other person's hand. She thinks she's in charge here. People also criticized her for wearing inappropriate clothes. In the last photo she didn't even button up enough. And the shorts are too short. They are not smart people. I mean, Meghan Markle isn't giving up the title, but it's not like she's going to dress like a duchess. Another spectacular failure. Meghan should have stayed home alone. And what about these children? I mean, it's so weird that there aren't any pap photos of them since Meghan takes them to school every day. And no one took a picture of it. So I wonder where the tipping point is. Could it be in Meghan's delusional brain? She was probably just trying to sound like Catherine, but she failed. I mean, Catherine is a real princess with real kids. Meghan does not approach him. And I think Meghan is so bitter because Catherine is living the life she wants. She has real children, a really handsome husband, and one day Catherine will be queen. Meghan, she will be an ex-yacht girl for the rest of her days. And given the level of competition Meghan is aiming for with Catherine, it makes a lot of sense to see so many photos of her children. After all, they are on the throne. Who doesn't love seeing royal children? How could the royal family know about these invisible people? Chapter Everything is so mysterious. Rather than resorting to the services of the royal physician, she toyed with childbirth, and they fled to Canada. This is only the case with the first child. The second was said to have been born in the United States and the royal family had never met her. How would they even know if Meghan gave birth to these children or if they were actually the biological parents? If you ask me, the royal family is probably just as in the dark about this as anyone else. And if they don't have children, they are in no way responsible for all the lies of a couple of crooks like these two. We should also remember that Meghan refused to use the Queen's doctors. Instead, he insisted on arranging himself. Therefore, no one you trust can truly confirm a royal birth. Harry now claims he was there, but he laughed so hard he doesn't remember anything. By the way, why is he telling this story? I'm pretty sure it's illegal, and even if it wasn't, what kind of horrible husband would steal his wife's painkillers while she's in labor? Chapter Why does he think this story sounds sweet? He claims to have used up all the nitrous oxide and has none left for Meghan. I hope this story is not true. And if it's a boy, he's worse than I thought. But the amazing thing is that after several epidurals and the baby was born, Harry wrote in the book that just a few hours after the birth they were in the car going back to Frogmore Cottage. Well, come now, every woman who has given birth knows very well that this is impossible. You can't even feel your legs properly, so no one ever leaves their seat to go home with a toddler. I think it's great that William and Catherine are allowing people to see their children at events these days. They support their parents there. For example, George and Charlotte were allowed to go to the Wimbledon final with their mother, Catherine, the president of the Tennis Association, and King Felipe of Spain. Well, I'm sure Meghan is pissed that her kids are nowhere to be seen. I wish these kids weren't real, because if they were, they'd be prisoners in their own homes. No toys, nothing in the yard. They never play games with other children. They didn't even visit the park, and Harry was seen several times on the beach with the dog, but no children with him. Well, Meghan likes to shop at farmers' markets. He could easily take these children with him, but no. The only time these children were seen in public was when they had to be photographed for carefully orchestrated parades, with the exception of the 4th of July. Well, this girl Harry looked like he didn't even know him. Then the woman with the boy apparently wasn't even Meghan, despite their attempts to claim her. I mean, the photo I'm talking about is not from this year, but from last year, and of course, the one from the archives. Meghan now sends her children, aged 2 and 4, to school, even though they are both too young to attend regular school. Yes, it's true. No one will believe your lies, Meghan. just stop. And how is it that this dad was able to photograph Catherine from a mile away while she was on her honeymoon with William? What, are we supposed to believe that these types of cameras don't exist anymore? Meghan and Harry will either keep these children indoors forever and not even put them near the window, or maybe there will be no children at all. So Mia says she also went for hamburgers the other night, the other day at the Beyoncé concert. If they are real, who cares? When they came and the Queen died, I wanted to have my children with me at that time. However, they managed to remain indifferent. And both kids were fine. His parents have not come home yet. Chapter I don't believe it. Well, I guess that's when I was truly convinced that the child wasn't real. The whole scene makes no sense. I don't think we still hear about who should be taking care of the kids. Thanks for your comment, Mia. I'm glad you feel the same way. And it's clear it's not just us, because below we got a comment from Sue Jones that they just didn't have kids. They will have true parents with them. So basically it's just smoke and mirrors for these disastrous people who want to convince everyone that they actually have children. I cannot say that there are children, because there are none. So, you've hit the nail on the head. Karen also made an interesting comment. Karen says the Queen doesn't want Elizabeth to be just a middle name and not a first name. Chapter maybe. Well, she went on to say there were several children named Elizabeth. I believe she allowed Elizabeth to be used like the others, but she was surprised when she saw the name Lilibeth. Yes, Meghan really has zero class and a lot of nerve. And I don't understand Archie's name, unless he was making fun of the redhead and stole it from the comic. She wants to look royal, but she gives her children names that sound like anything. Oh my god, I'm not sure. I've heard before that the Queen just wants Elizabeth as a middle name, but it could be that. But Meghan and Harry didn't seem to care. And as for Archie, let's look directly below Karen's comment. Spider Mountain says, your name is used for commercial purposes only. Lilibeth Diana, lol, even before their second child was born. I said to myself, let's see if she has a daughter. They'll try to call her Diana. Not only was her name Diana, they also added Grandma. They explained that Archie was William's son's nickname. Chapter yes. That's where their name Archie comes from. I think that was Prince George's code name, so they decided to steal it. I think it just made William and Catherine angry. I don't know, but apparently that's where the name comes from. Well guys, I really enjoyed reading your comments. Please continue. And while you're at it, please don't forget to give us a little help by liking and sharing our videos with all your friends and family. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you get started. Thanks for tuning in. Good night. We'll be back to see you all tomorrow.